Yeah, this is definitely not good.
Shit, there is someone there. Hello?
Going into the woods alone at night can be downright terrifying. But what if you stumble upon something or someone you'd rather not face? Tonight, we're uncovering 6 of the most spine-chilling encounters ever caught on camera. These stories will have you thinking twice before ever setting foot in the woods alone again. Let's jump straight into the first unsettling encounter. The first video tonight comes from the Cat Lady Van, a Canadian solo van life creator documenting full-time travel in her self-converted van alongside her cat. Her content focuses on realistic daily living, quiet coastal park-ups, and practical solo safety awareness, rather than exaggerated drama. It is January 13th, 2022, parked beside an ocean bay in Canada. Exact bay, not specified. At approximately 5 a.m., she wakes to the sound of tires crunching over icy snow as a car pulls into the otherwise empty bay. The noise carries clearly in the freezing stillness. At first, she wonders if it might be a friend she had messaged the previous day, though he hadn't confirmed plans. Moments later, she hears the driver exit the vehicle and begins speaking loudly on the phone.
I sleep with my head here, right on the same side as the passenger, and the person was right there talking on the phone. So I got up, look in my window, didn't turn on the light, and look outside, and that person was talking on the phone right beside my door, like right.
The man remains only about a foot from the van door, swearing and laughing into his phone. It is still completely dark outside. She quietly rises, peeks through the window, and switches on a small interior light, just enough to assess the situation without revealing herself. What unsettles her most is not that someone entered the bay, but that he chose to stand directly beside her door rather than near his own vehicle.
I'm not gonna say exactly what he said. He swear, say a F word. He was on the phone, like I said, he was like, F word, you me, and he laughed. And and I went on the front to see what type of car, and if he had 2 cars and what's going on, and he laughed with the little car super fast down the road. I think it's a 50-kilometer road.
She checks the time. 5 a.m. In a remote ocean bay with no nearby houses, the presence feels out of place. She describes her stomach twisting with unease. Preparing mentally in case he knocks, she plans to use a firm voice while keeping her face concealed behind curtains. She deliberately avoids turning on the main interior lights to prevent visibility inside. Without warning, the man returns to his small car and speeds away, driving off noticeably fast.
Right there, I think that's his first step. That's how close he was to my van. Alright, let's go to one.
Unable to fall back asleep, she turns on the heater and starts her day early. Rather than dramatize the encounter, she frames it as a practical safety lesson. She reorganizes her van so her phone, keys, and torch are always within arm's reach while sleeping. She notes that she carries personal safety tools, but keeps the specifics private. The incident never turns into confrontation. However, the psychological impact lingers. In the darkness of a remote bay at 5 a.m., the most unsettling element was proximity. Knowing someone stood silently just outside her door while she slept inside. Before we move on, if you're enjoying the video so far, leaving a like really helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. We recently passed 50,000 subscribers, and that's entirely because of you. The next target is 100,000 before the end of the year. Ambitious, but worth aiming for. There's a hidden word somewhere in this video. See if you can spot it. Now, Let's continue. The next horrifying video comes from Wild Bliss Bunny, a solo outdoor adventure creator known for minimalist stealth camping in unconventional locations. Her style is calm and observational, focusing more on practical decision-making than exaggerated drama. It is February 21st, 2026, in a public cemetery in the United States. Exact location undisclosed. As sunset approaches, Wild Bliss Bunny quietly scouts the cemetery for a discreet overnight spot. Workers are still present, and a man walking a dog moves unpredictably through the grounds. She identifies a small clearing that could fit her one-person tent, but hesitates. Using low hill mounds for cover, she waits and watches. Every small sound, the dog's movement, distant truck noise, footsteps on gravel, feels amplified as daylight fades.
Like these bushes here, and there's a building here, and I thought, oh, this is a good like incognito spot. I'm hearing music coming from that building. Can you hear it? So that's obviously not gonna work.
Later, in her final grassy spot, she begins cooking quietly beside her tent. Suddenly, a car pulls up very close. The vehicle remains idling, but no one approaches or speaks. The uncertainty, not knowing whether she has been noticed, creates a spike in tension. She stays still and low profile.
So weird. Wow, they walked that way. That is so wild. Maybe they're just really here to just visit a grave and didn't know I was here. Anyways, it looks ready. All right, peas taste good. Crazy. They didn't even say anything. They just got out, pulled up, got out, went over there. All right, well, let's turn this off while I still have some good luck. Oh my goodness. Let me just show you what I mean. So I'm right here. That car, you see it? It's right here. It pulled up like right next to me. I think it's just here to visit a grave and not bothering me. It pulled up, I thought it was likely someone coming to hassle me, but it was actually a grieving man. I think he was just in his own little world, but I heard him crying and saying things like, what am I gonna do without you? So it was just sad.
She overhears the man from earlier speaking emotionally at a nearby grave. The context shifts. What initially felt threatening is revealed to be private grief. The fear transitions into empathy. She spends the night inside her small tent. Light rain and wind pass through the cemetery, but her setup remains dry and stable. No paranormal activity occurs. The suspense comes entirely from human unpredictability and the vulnerability of stealth camping in an exposed location. By morning, she packs up before sunrise and leaves quietly. The experience reinforces a grounded lesson. In unconventional camp spots, the real challenge isn't ghosts, it's timing, awareness, and respecting the space and the people who use it. The next chilling video comes from Steve Butler, a UK-based van life and outdoor adventure vlogger, known for solo wild camps, off-grid cooking, and immersive nighttime experiences filmed in real time. It is October 24th, 2021, in Harwood Forest, United Kingdom. Steve parks up and pitches his tent beside the van as dusk fades into darkness. He gathers wood, lights a small fire, and begins preparing dinner. As the light drops, routine woodland sounds become more noticeable. Rustling branches, occasional snaps in the distance, wind brushing through trees.
What the hell was that? Did you hear that then, folks? No, that wasn't me. Just heard a twig break. And again. Oh. Here we go again, freaking myself out. Bloody wild men and woodsmen and bloody werewolves and all the rest of it. Ooh. So, well, it is Halloween.
He openly acknowledges the feeling of being observed. The combination of wind, moving tree limbs, and darkness creates intermittent shapes in the periphery. Alone in a dense forest, even normal environmental sounds can feel directional and intentional.
Shit, there is someone there. Hello? But why have you been watching me? Hey mate, what are you doing? Mate, I've got a knife here, mate. There's someone there.
The situation appears confrontational rather than paranormal. After the initial interaction, the individual remains somewhere at a distance, occasionally making noises or moving within earshot. Steve stays vigilant, maintaining awareness while attempting to avoid escalation. The atmosphere remains tense, but his composure prevents panic from taking over. Returning to the fire, he resumes cooking and speaks about local folklore, wild men stories, and Halloween legends tied to Harwood Forest. The storytelling blends with the natural ambience, wind through trees, flickering firelight, distant woodland sounds. The forest's mood is amplified by context rather than confirmed supernatural activity. By morning, Steve packs up and leaves safely, ensuring no trace remains. The night becomes memorable, not because of ghosts, but because of isolation and unexpected human presence. The experience highlights a grounded reality of solo camping. Environmental tension can be unsettling, but real-world unpredictability, particularly from unknown individuals, poses the greater risk. Harwood Forest provides atmosphere and folklore, but the most intense moment of the night stems from human behavior, not legend. The next shocking video of the night comes from Outdoor Ally, a UK-based outdoor adventure creator known for wild camping, hot tent setups, bushcraft experiments, and testing gear in harsh, real-world conditions. It is February 24th, 2024, at Loch Lomond, Scotland, near Glasgow. He arrives at Loch Lomond in heavy rain and thick mist. The lakeside is bleak, with litter scattered from previous visitors, and everything soaked through. A small shelter nearby has a few people gathered, but he chooses a separate pitch.
We'll go and join them very shortly. But yeah, the bad thing about Loch Lomond is it's very close to the big city.
He sets up his hot tent carefully, lays out his sleeping system, and attempts to light a small used stove inside. The damp conditions make everything harder. Wet wood, cold hands, limited visibility. The isolation and poor weather create tension before any major issue even occurs. Almost immediately after setup, he senses something is off. The stove struggles to burn cleanly. Combined with the enclosed tent space and moisture-heavy air, the situation begins to feel unstable.
Just went back up the car because I forgot the buckfast. It's in the car, and yeah, scared off a couple of doggers up here at the lay-by. Yeah, definitely dogging. The windows were steamed up. They drove off sharpish, opening the windows till I air it. So yeah, missed a trick there. Yeah, going to go down to the campfire. Rain has eased a little bit. It's just constant. You seen me trying to cook my dinner there over the campfire.
The stove malfunctions, producing thick smoke and black liquid residue. The interior of the hot tent begins to fill with smoke, creating an obvious hazard. cooking inside becomes unsafe. Recognizing the risk of fumes and potential fire, he shuts it down and moves food preparation outside to an open campfire in the rain. The moment shifts from inconvenience to genuine safety concern. Enclosed heat sources require proper airflow and reliable equipment.
Disaster. Let's see how it's getting on. Is it still smoking? Oh, the smoke seems to have calmed down. I think yeah. Should be fine, time I get back in it. It's a decent tent other than that. The rain beads off it well. Just need a decent stove. And the guys have got the disco lights on the tops.
While heading to his car to retrieve breakfast supplies, he is startled by a couple of people nearby. The encounter is brief. They leave quickly. However, in misty, low visibility conditions, unexpected human presence adds another layer of unpredictability. Back at the tent, he inspects the damage from the smoke. Most of it has cleared, but the incident reinforces how quickly a hot tent setup can become dangerous if the stove is unreliable. Despite the setbacks, he manages to cook over an outdoor fire and continues the camp in persistent rain. The tent itself performs well, but the stove proves inadequate and in need of replacement. The trip becomes less about suspense and more about practical learning. Loch Lomond offers dramatic misty scenery and calm water once the rain eases. In the end, the experience serves as a reminder that in outdoor adventures, preparation and reliable gear matter more than aesthetics. And quick decision-making can prevent minor issues from becoming serious hazards. The next video comes from Exploring with Bear, a US-based outdoor adventure and paranormal exploration channel. The host bear documents solo nighttime woodland investigations in areas associated with reported Bigfoot activity, using high-powered flashlights and thermal cameras while filming largely unedited, real-time reactions. It is November 19th, 2025, in an isolated woodland in the United States. After returning from a short night hike, Bear begins setting up a newly acquired thermal camera inside his tent. The device requires pairing to his phone and configuring through an app, which slows him down. While adjusting the equipment, he repeatedly reacts to sounds behind him. He describes what sounds like something running nearby. Dry leaves, small mammals, and shifting branches can produce amplified noise in quiet woodland, especially at night. However, he insists the movement sounds deliberate and close. The tension builds as the audio appears to grow nearer.
No frickin' way. All right, thermal. We need the thermal. I know you guys heard that. That's something frickin' walking right behind me. Heck no. Oh! What the? Whoa! Crap.
Later, lying inside in near darkness, he hears distinct footsteps approaching the tent. The sound stops immediately when he calls out, "Hello." Sudden silence after vocalization is common with wildlife startled by human noise, but in the moment, it intensifies his anxiety.
There's more than one. Oh my goodness. What was that? The heck was that?
The movement resumes, now from multiple directions. He interprets this as more than one presence circling the tent. In wooded environments, echo and terrain can distort directionality, making single sources appear multiplied.
All right. I gotta go. That's clicking or growling. I just heard clicking or growling. I feel like I'm gonna puke. I'm gonna puke.
The encounter escalates from distant, ambiguous movement to close-range footsteps and confirmed tent contact. Despite having thermal equipment, technical setup delays and heightened stress prevent clear visual documentation. No definitive visual evidence confirms what was outside the tent. Possible explanations include wildlife such as deer, coyotes, raccoons, or other nocturnal animals reacting to scent and campsite activity. However, the isolation, darkness, and repeated movement create a psychologically intense experience. Bear ultimately chooses safety over investigation, ending the night shaken but unharmed. The episode highlights how quickly solo camping in remote woodland can transition from routine to overwhelming. Not necessarily because of the supernatural, but because uncertainty in darkness amplifies every sound and shadow. Before we get into the next clip, around 70% of people watching aren't subscribed. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you're enjoying the video, hitting subscribe really does help. All right, let's get back to it. The last video of the night comes from Van Life Adventures with Jack, a UK-based van life and car camping creator, documenting solo trips to remote Scottish locations, often highlighting winter conditions and real-world challenges. It is January 2nd, 2023, at Castle Campbell, Scotland. Jack settles into his car at the quiet Castle Campbell car park. Rain pounds steadily on the roof while he arranges interior lights, snacks, and prepares a warm meal. The access roads leading in were narrow and partially flooded, reinforcing just how isolated the spot is.
Let's park the car. Okay. What the f? I am going to prepare to leave this area. Oh, the tune's on. Fuck this. It's clearly some young kids that came up. I'm getting out of here. I don't like this. If you can see me right now, there's guys playing music to my left. There's actually two cars. Another one pulled up as well, and I did not feel good about this at all. So I am getting the hell out of here. I don't know where I'm going to go.
Two cars suddenly enter the otherwise empty car park, with music playing loudly. The abrupt shift in atmosphere immediately changes the tone. In a secluded location at night, unexpected arrivals can feel threatening, regardless of intent. Jack assesses the situation quickly. The occupants appear to be younger individuals, possibly just looking for a hangout spot. But in isolation, uncertainty equals risk. Rather than confront or wait to see what happens, he decides to leave immediately.
This is so dangerous because I can't see nothing. I mean, this is where I am right now for context. You can see like I'm in the middle of nowhere right now. And two cars have pulled up, no lights on, music blaring. The thing was, right, it was most likely just random like kids, like teenagers going up to smoke weed or something like that. Okay, I don't really give a shit about that, but it's more like, you know, if they're smoking weed, getting drunk, whatever it is, whatever it may be, like, what do they do when they see one car in a secluded car park? Okay, so I found a new location.
He pulls out and begins navigating dark country roads in heavy rain. Visibility is reduced, headlights reflecting off wet tarmac. Flooded sections of road, debris, and narrow bends increase the difficulty. The drive becomes the most dangerous part of the night. Isolation, weather, and unfamiliar terrain create sustained tension. After roughly 30 minutes, he reaches a safer and more populated area to park. The experience highlights a core reality of solo car camping: unpredictability. The arriving vehicles may have posed no real threat, but in a remote setting with limited escape routes, proactive decisions matter. Combined with winter flooding and poor visibility, the night becomes a reminder that environmental hazards can be just as serious as human uncertainty. Despite the stress, Jack maintains his enthusiasm for van life. The freedom of exploring remote Scottish landscapes comes with calculated risk, and adaptability remains the key survival skill on the road. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these 6 spine-tingling encounters, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more chilling and terrifying videos. There's always another mystery waiting to be uncovered, and you won't want to miss what's next. Stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video.